Hello. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Blue Talks. This is going to be a very good topic today to discuss about. And we have with us a 35-year-old single Shant Swaroop who likes to cheer up his friends and like to play guitar. If nothing else, believes that everything in life can be solved with music and good food. So just give me a moment. Let me invite Shant. Yep. So Shant is here.
Hi,
Hi Shant, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Welcome to the
Am
new
I?
episode of. Sorry?
No, I'm just asking if am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're absolutely audible, clear. Okay, so welcome to the new episode of Blue Talks.
Happy to
35,
be here.
single, having the fun of the life, yet responsible. That's the best part
Uh,
about it. But yet, responsibility is there, and you do
right.
support onto certain topics which are in India kind of not spoken about, and you've agreed to come on board and discuss with us and also make
Yeah.
others aware about it. So, welcome
Right.
on board.
Glad to be
And
here. Glad to discuss the topics that you lined up for us. Since the last call, I think when you told me about this, I thought it was a good. It's going to be a good chat. So here I am.
thank you. So, for all those who have joined us, Shant is a blue customer, and that's how we have spoken to him. And then I spoke about the topic consensual sex, which is the topic for the day and topic for the month for the blue. He absolutely agreed about it, and in fact, he believes much into it. Unlike our da, I don't want to really stop here. Cool. So, Shant, let's know a little bit more about you. As a young man, never married, especially single, with me, two kids, the single part is kind of, it's in the bold and it's highlighted. I really want to know about your life adventures, your relationships, and especially your views about your partners, present partners, ex partners.
Um, sure. I mean, the whole introduction about a 35 single guy was a bit Never been introduced that way, but yeah, theek hai, for the sake of narration. Uh, I guess I'm sort of your average guy. I love to ride. I love cars. I love good food, good music. I play the guitar a bit, so on and forth. But with respect to what we're discussing right now, especially consent and stuff, well, that's right up there. I mean, nothing for me works without consent. Does it? I mean, if it, especially if it involves dealing with someone else, if you want to do something and it involves, it affects someone else beyond you, not just sex, I think it's fair enough to ask or seek consent and then go ahead to be mutually inclusive for any particular thing. Um, that's basically where my approach with consent is. I would say that I am pretty sex positive in the sense that I like reading about a lot of articles regarding sex, the dynamics of it, the exchange of thoughts, cultures, what have you, between two or three people, whatever, the various dynamics, like you have your polygamy, you have your heterosex, or whatever, the different kinds of genders. Basically, I like reading about this stuff because everyone is different, and the best way to live harmoniously with everyone is to try and understand the world a little bit better. So this being my field of interest, I've always been pretty sex positive, such. Um, I would credit it to my parents and my upbringing. My mom and dad have been very candid with me since we didn't have a distinction like, like women, men, or whatever. Besides the obvious ones, but as far as capabilities are concerned, it doesn't matter who you are. You go at something, give it your best shot. Um, Mom, I would say, spoke to me about the birds and the bees quite young, and I had some questions. I was a curious kid, and she was a very patient parent, and so was dad. So I think I have a very healthy upbringing in that manner, wherein things weren't taboo. We could talk about stuff. And of course, I am from the generation that kind of grew up as the internet grew up. So we were one of the first people who could go to Google and ask about stuff. I mean, sure, we've asked a lot of wrong stuff also and searched for the wrong things, but I won't say wrong, it's just choices. But yeah, a lot of that led to a lot reading, knowing, to understand myself better and the world and the way it functions. Regarding partners, I have somehow I've always had this mentality wherein I don't connect lust and love. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing, for me. And that has been something that I've been very open and communicated with my partners right from the beginning. And they would be confused as to how can the two be separate. And I'm like, it's a very simple analogy. It's like food. You like chicken tandoori, or sorry, if you like dal, you can, love dal. You can love the idea of it. You can eat it day in, day out. But there can be, it's a possibility, not 100% sure, that you may like something else also. That doesn't inherently make you a bad person. It's better to talk about it, So that's my idea about it. So right from the beginning, I do think I have, as is my nature, I do think I'm a polyamorous guy. But I have always had girlfriends that were, weren't into polyamorous. So I was like, that's fine. We will be in a monogamous relationship, like one man, one woman equilibrium is fine. And that's how it always has been. I like to talk about stuff. I like to work on relationships because I know that's important. And the equation I've had with all my exes has always been one of open communication. Just be honest and very true. Just be like, whatever, if you don't like my face, tell it to my face, stuff like that. So I'm actually friends with all my exes, and it's a wholesome relationship. The last.
We lost you in, yeah.
That's all right. So, yeah, so the last girlfriend that I had, we did start out as a monogamous couple. She was a very interesting person. She had. So what I look for in a girl is basically someone who's understanding and is mature at a certain level. Like doesn't get, at least tries to understand things that she doesn't understand or whatever.
I would like to interrupt you over here when you're talking about this, because my next question is more surrounded to this point only. But you're saying that you're pretty open about polygamy and you were pretty open about your thoughts with your
Polyamorous.
girls who were
Yeah.
polyamorous. But were you equally open about it if your girlfriend or if your
Yeah, yeah.
partner thought about
Yeah,
it?
so
And
I'll give you an example of what I'm saying. My last girlfriend and I, when we got into the relationship, we were monogamous. You for me for you. And while talking, she came to know that I can also exist as a polyamorous person, but she was not on the same page. So no pressure. We'll still be this. Then I was in a different city. I moved to different. I came to Bombay for work, and she wanted to kind of try how this works. So I said, fine, let's try it out. And the one thing we always believed right from the beginning was that you have to be honest. You tell me who you are dating, I tell you who you are dating, and the person whom you are dating, like I was on Tinder and all those apps, but if I connected with someone, I'd instantly tell them that listen, this is my equation. I have a girlfriend and I'm a polygamous person. Back then they used to call it open whatever. So my job is to tell the person I'm not into playing games and stuff. Whatever my cards are, I'll show them to you. And beyond this point, you want to move ahead, then that's fine by me. And if not, that's also fine by me. So consent
but
plays over
that's
there.
so yeah, awesome. It's surprising because I believe there's a very niche percentage who do think like you, and then consent definitely plays a very important role into that part. Because in India, in our country, where as per the law, the current wife is actually presumed to deliver the perpetual consent to have sex with her husband after entering into the marital relationships. It's not the woman's sexual needs which is actually being taken into the consideration. It's more about the man who is into the relationship, into the marriage, and his needs is being thought about, even as per a law. So over here, when you're talking about this thing, it's it's something very very nice to hear it, and I would like to hear your thoughts about this Indian law. Then, how would you like to think about it?
See, I'm no expert on legal matters, but yes, because we have this concept of consent, we also have something called as marital rape that pretty much defines the fact that the woman or the wife in question hasn't given her consent for sex, and the husband, assuming his right of sorts, has gone ahead and done what he shouldn't have done because he didn't have consent. So
Absolutely.
I I don't want to say words like morally wrong or no. It's just you're a human. As a human, you do know what to do and what not to do. Just don't do to others what you don't want to others to do unto you. So if you're a human and you hear another person's viewpoint and they are saying no, they're not in the mood or they don't want to or whatever that, you have to respect it. That's it. That's just my take on this. That you know, there have been some very horrible cases of late with terrible judgments regarding all of this. And
Yeah.
boss, there's no two ways to look at rape or lack of consent. It is what it is. You can't be like shades of gray about this.
But do you think a man ego, especially an Indian man ego, would be satisfied, would be able to accept it if a woman rejects and says no to the sex? Will he be able to? What would a man feel if a woman rejected that a man doesn't give a consent to have sex with her? Will a man, in his ego and manhood, believe that he should give the consent?
Yeah, because see, the way you're brought up,
He
men
should
and
take.
women, we are in a very weird society. Okay, there are notions of who one should be. Like a man should do this, a woman should do that. So part of getting sex after being married is something that the guy considers is his right, which is wrong. There are still two people
Exactly,
involved
it's right
with
which
their
is
own
wrong.
there are two people involved with their own ideas and separate things. So once you say yes, it's okay. If you say no, that's the end of it. As a man, it does suck. It does not feel good. I have been shot down more than my fair share of number of times, but and it's not good because well, you really want someone, you want to like them, you want to show them maybe how awesome you are, blah blah blah, whatever reasons, and they say no. And you're like, why? Like, no.
No, but then when do you think that they can say no as a consensual sex part? If we talk about it, if they both start, if the woman is interested and they both start it, in the middle of it, if a woman decides to say no and say to stop, do you think a man should proceed further? As per our law, that do you think it's
Uh,
his right that he
again,
should not?
again, I am not a legal person, so these are my viewpoints, and I will hold.
Absolutely, we want
I'll
to hear your bigger point.
so anytime anyone says no, you gotta stop. So very simple,
Awesome,
very
superb.
very simple, very very simple thing. So I remember I was going to reference this one video I saw on Facebook. I think it's about some English dude referencing consent to drinking tea. So the guy is like, you can ask a girl if she wants a tea, and if the girl wants to have tea, she'll say yes. Then you make a tea. If the girl says no, then don't make a tea or don't force her to have a tea. Sometimes the
Oh,
girl will say, yes, I want to have tea. So you go and you make the chai, you put everything, and you come back with the tea. And that time the girl says, no, I don't want tea. So then, tough luck, don't force her to have the tea. And then so on and so forth. If a girl is asleep, or if you're at a party, the girl is drunk and she's too smashed, and you're helping her, and then you want to give her tea, but she has no idea, don't be that guy. So it's even during the act, if you are, and if either partner, to be very honest, says no for whatever reasons, you have to stop. You
I
have
really
to
like the
stop. That's
point
the
that you've made. Either the partner. It's not about the woman all the time. It's either the partner. Even if a male says to stop, and you have to stop. And that's where the consent comes into it. And
See, the
that's,
majority of cases and instances that you see will have women being abused or uh, their modesty outraged because of they said no. But yeah, there are a fair share of men, and you know what? This is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month, all of you guys. The amount of how much important consent plays even into the LGBTQ community is also huge. Like
yes.
that's why I said when someone says no, it's a no. That's it. Like end of story. Stop what you're doing. Talk if you want to, but like don't do the one thing they're telling you not to do. That's my basically.
Yeah. Okay, so we've already pointed it out about this part, but as a society, what steps can we take? Where are we, do you think, we're going wrong? Like you pointed it out that your parents, they spoke to you about it. When you ask them about the curious questions which most of the Indian parents do not like to address, your mother sat down and patiently explained to you. So where do you think as our society, where are we going wrong, where we are trying to fail to understand the simple term consent?
That's a very very big question, but I'll I'll answer it the best way I can. I think that's pretty much it. You gotta talk about it. You have to have solid sex education in schools. You have to have your parents should be okay to talk to you about it. If your parents are not okay to talk to about it and they realize this, they should at least guide you to someone who can talk to about it. Children can go and talk to a sex expert. It's not weird. They are curious little beings. If you make them understand that being a man or a woman, certain blah blah blah, no, just talk to them. Talk. Sex education is so bloody. Yeah, thanks, Farudaru. Sex education is very, very important. The more you talk about it, it'll get less and less taboo. You know, you don't have to talk about like sex. Or like when you say sex, the word itself, people are like, "Hey, shh, आराम से बात कर." No, man, just like talk to people, and even if you're, I don't know, even if you're someone who has faced rejection right now, like you're a guy and a girl said no and it sucks, and you're feeling pissed about it, go seek help. There are sex education experts on Instagram. There are handles. Just drop a comment or seek out counselors. There are 10 different ways you can handle this than the one thing you're not supposed to do. So yeah, there are just talk about it. Talk about it. Sex has to be talked about. We are the country where apparently Kama Sutra came from. Where did we go wrong? You know, we
Where did
have
we
to
go
talk.
wrong? Where did we go
Yeah, we
wrong?
have to.
I would say part of the share would be also given to the Bollywood, Bollywood movies, where we still have, the heroes in their age group of 50s or 40s, dancing around with the young girls who are still in the heroines in the age of the 20s. I would
Yeah,
even think
I
that, do you agree to me? Like, say for example, if we talk about Radhe movie, I don't even think Disha Patni was into the naughtiest dream of their parents when Salman Khan entered into the Hollywood industry. And we are seeing her romancing with
is
Salman Khan at this
is
stage.
is
So,
that a dialogue from the movie Tere Naam mein bhi haan hai, or is my friend just trolling me? I don't know. I yes. No, so I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I want to take that question and split it up in a couple of ways. One of the questions that I want to get right out of that, one of the parts of that question I want to get out of is the age difference gap. Can two people with a really big age difference love each other? If both of
yes,
them are legal consenting adults, then yes, they can.
yes,
Okay, let's
absolutely.
just keep that part out. Just
Yes,
again, it's consenting. They're both legal adult consenting adults. Let's just move that out part. Now the other part that you're talking about, this really macho buff dude who can do everything right, and
yes.
his idea of being even more popular and everything is by doing very manly acts and not taking no for an answer. Yeah, we are totally screwing up on all those levels. We are, and that's exactly where men feel bad. Men see a particular behavior, they try to copy it because it's very influential. And when a girl doesn't respond, she says no, it hurts bad to the point that the next step that they take is what screws it up for everyone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, in their mind, they've seen their hero doing steps one, two, and three, which results into getting the hottest girl in the campus. I should do steps one, two, and three, whether I'm a hero or not. Automatically, I'll become a hero. But the girl I'm chasing said no. Oh, holy hell, how did this happen? You know?
But
And that
men
is,
can be. But why do we have that stereotype? That's the point. If Bollywood should think about it. Men can be sensitive. Men can cry.
yeah, it won't sell. Nah? There have been so many movies with men playing a lot of emotional, sensitive. Just a second. Yeah, Farudaru. Gender, age, and sexual orientation don't matter when it's two consenting adults. That's exactly what I mean.
That's exactly the
Uh,
point Shant made it very
yeah.
clearly.
And as for the, I'm sorry, what was the question about?
Macho type. When the macho man is not ready to hear the
It's a
no for an
narrative.
answer.
It's a narrative. There are so many movies. There's a one movie wherein there's a guy who's supposed to be very sentimental and all, but they don't sell. You know, the movies are basically a business. They're trying to make money. It's not a definition of right and wrong. They are not law. So
No,
they know
so the
that if
society
some,
is
it's skewed.
society
Society is
is
very skewed.
something. So it's something which our society is majorly accepting into the fact because that's the reason it doesn't sell. The sensitive men part doesn't sell. A boy has to be raised. तू लड़का है, तू सब कुछ कर सकता है.
As a guy, okay, currently, because of the pandemic, it's this entire thing. It falls into the patriarchy and stuff, right? What we are talking about, patriarchy,
Absolutely.
feminism, and some people want to call it equalism, but I'm not getting to that. Idea is treat a person as a person, regardless of
Age,
gender, age,
gender,
etc. Right?
etc.
Every my point here is now as a guy I've also been I'm a product of a patriarchal society. Currently I am between jobs. I'm doing some freelance work and I'm at my folks' place in Baroda, right? As a guy this is tough on me also because if I want to think marriage I'll be like, oh मैं कमा नहीं रहा हूँ, oh मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, बंगला नहीं है. So it's not something that just the women suffer, you know. It's you're screwing up with the guys also. They can't do their stuff, you can't do stuff. Who exactly is happy with this system, you know? So how do you solve
I
it? Talk about it. Talk
love
about it. You
this
gotta
line.
talk.
Talk about it. Just talk about
You gotta,
things. And I really love the point that you have stressed so much, Shan. irrespective of age, gender, etc., etc., etc. Need to
Yes,
ask. You need to take a permission. You need to ask for it, irrespective
100%.
of everything. And that's something which is a awesome key takeaway from our chat today. I am like it's something which I believe every Indian, irrespective of a male or a
Yeah,
female, should
person.
think about it. Any person should. We can talk about the, as you mentioned, about the LGBT pride community. Pride month is also going on. We have to listen to the point that we need to ask. And when a person says no, it's a no. Thank you,
Yeah,
Shan.
I mean,
Thanks a lot. Yeah. You would like to add anything else?
yeah, no, just that. I mean, to the guys, if they're listening, or and to the girls, if you're a guy who is, or if you're someone who's trying to flirt with someone, and you, instead of trying to use non-verbal cues, it's just okay, just go up to them and say, hi, I find you attractive, may I kiss you? I have done that. I have been shot down for this, and sometimes it's worked. Sometimes it's worked, but just ask, be an idiot. You don't have to be some James Bond guy who's naturally knowing all your tricks. No, just ask, just talk and say, I find you attractive. Can I kiss you? Can I buy you a drink? Blah blah. क्या होगा? Yes होगा, no होगा, or if they say maybe, then you say please answer correctly. The talk
Guys, the
can be done.
last tip is in like $1 million tip. It's the
I mean, yeah,
million
just
dollar
ask.
skill.
Just my last girlfriend,
True.
this is how I did. I said, oh yeah, someone did made a lot of men people usually listen to no as try harder. See, that is again one of the fallouts of your cinema culture, your matriarchy thing.
Yes.
So when someone says no, please take it as no and walk away.
It's a
If
no.
you have to ask once again, just once, but that's it. Just like ask why or whatever, and if they say शक्ल पसंद नहीं है, walk away, चलेगा, कोई और मिल जाएगा. But just like walk the hell away.
नहीं तो शाम को जैसे कभी चाटा भी मिल जाएगा.
Okay, now that's a whole different thing. That's not cool either.
But then had a great time talking to you. Lot of key takeaways. I do really wish to have a second part of it where we can have some tips from you to how to really go forward with it. But that's later
I'm
on.
I'm game. I'm game. Whenever you
Yeah.
would like to have me on board, it's my pleasure. Let me know.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've all had a fun. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye. You too.